welcome back to our channel. Today as you can see, we're in a new place. Wait, in our previous podcast, you will have already seen us build a snowman.
If you haven't seen it yet, it'll be the next one.
Oh yeah, because this is more time sensitive. Right.
Yes.
If you see the snowman one before this, then you know Aaron did his job. If not, then you know that Aaron was lazy.
Maybe you should edit it.
No.
Why? She's making me do all the edits.
So anyway, in the snowman podcast, we talked about our business financial year in review-ish, right?
Yep.
About how we are going to be making $12,000 a month per person next year. If you want to find out more about that, go watch that or subscribe so that you'll get notified when we post that video. Today, we're going to be talking about our year in review, more of our financial year in review, but we will also sneak in some bits of our personal life as well.
Yes.
I mean, finances technically would be personal life as well. It's even more personal than most people talk about. Like, we are being efficient and we got ChatGPT to come up with questions for us. So we'll try and answer most of the questions from ChatGPT. This is going to be like blind review. We're going to be brainstorming and thinking about our year with you guys because I haven't thought about these questions yet. Moose.
All right.
Okay.
Let's do this
Question
together.
number one. Year in one word.
All right, Sarah, you can start.
If you had to describe your 2024 in one word, what would it be and why? Actually, this is an interesting exercise because usually we come out with words for the next year. So I already have my word for 2025. Aaron does not have it yet because I have not proved the word that he chose. It is a year where we achieved and accomplished many things, but it was also all towards the end of the year. So it's like we also didn't really stop to smell the roses. It's a year where we were kind of like lazy but working hard at the same time. But some analogies, because we didn't feel accomplished the entire year.
Only now that we feel accomplished.
Yeah.
Right?
Uncertain was more of 2023, right?
There were parts of uncertainty as well. Like I may have decided to go back to physio. There was a point in time where I wanted to because of the stability.
2023 was the make it or break it year where if we couldn't get agencies, then we would have quit. Or at least we wouldn't have continued full time. This is actually our first year in true business, full time.
Right.
It was our first year.
The first year, why don't the word be something to do with first? Because this is the first year of many things.
Oh yeah, we had a lot of
The
first
first.
this year.
If we have a lot of first things this year, why not come up with a word that is similar to first?
But virginity.
Please don't turn it in. Okay, I think it's actually a bit too warm. I can't wear this scarf.
By the way, I'm not wearing a jacket, or I'm just wearing like one nice little fleece. Aaron is wearing what again? Ultra. You know what? The way I came up with my words this year as well was to talk about other things, and then it will come to me. It will come to me. Let's end off the podcast with a good word.
Right.
Aaron already said his words, which yes, you can tell why I don't approve his words.
By the way, we're in Whistler. It's at the balcony of our apartment-ish place, hotel,
Service
thing.
apartment.
Service apartment. But she said snowing right now, so we thought we'll do like podcasts out here, get some good snow, and not let the camera die from the snow. That's why we're like half indoors, half outdoors. Definitely something that you don't see in Singapore every day.
Yeah, 28 December. So we are cutting it close to the new year. We need to review this year, and we're doing it with you guys.
Let's get
What
through the
was
questions.
your biggest financial or business win of 2024?
Yeah, we tripled our revenue this year. High five.
We only just
Not
realized
so
it.
useless after all.
The entire time we kept thinking we doubled our revenue, and we only just realized this morning, literally an hour ago, that we tripled our revenue.
Yeah, we tripled our revenue. Not bad.
Guess that would be our biggest financial and business win of 2024. But also other smaller achievements this year that we might want to talk about, right? We need to talk about our other achievements. Aaron doesn't remember our other achievements, but
Yeah.
this year was basically the year of firsts for us. The first time we ever got an MC gig. It was the first time that we charged for public speaking events. It was a new stream of income for us.
Yeah.
It's also our first time that we traveled for work. This was at the
Right.
very end of the year. Two trips
Yeah.
were completely
Back to back.
We went to Tokyo, Japan with Visa, and then we flew to Dubai with Manify,
Yeah.
the media company that we are currently collaborating with, and you see more videos this
Soon.
coming year. I'm very excited
2025.
about this new opportunity as well.
Yeah.
Like for a new income stream, so another achievement. You basically set revenue targets, or at least I did, for social media money and agency, and we exceeded both.
We exceeded it a lot quicker than we thought. It wasn't so much of like a stretch goal. It wasn't too far out. But I didn't think we were going to hit it in 1 year. But somehow we were able to. Well, we can also talk about how we managed to hit all of our revenue goals. A lot of people would be interested, like find out how the heck do we make money. It's not just
Didn't we
off-
say that in our past? We already explained. We already went into detail in the Snowman podcast.
not just that, like from more of like content creator point of view. How does a content creator make money? How we got our agency, our sponsorships, our affiliate marketing, like our like Monify and a few other like big, but to other people it's like how do you even get there? A lot of people may be very good at creating videos and they don't really know how to monetize because they don't have like the business side of it. So like one day we can cover like the business side of it on like how do you take your ability to create content and then translate that into money. Yeah.
Money.
It doesn't have to be sponsorships, right? Like don't make the bulk of our money from sponsorships. A lot of our income comes from other sources as well. How do we get there? I think people might be interested to know. Let us know if you guys are interested to learn or just know how we manage to build additional income that is not directly from content creation itself and not directly from sponsorship.
Okay, so those were our biggest wins financially and business wise. I think for you, financially, it would be managing your budget, right? That's very good at that.
Yeah,
Without a budget. He manages his budget without a budget.
I mean, I always just spend within my means.
We
that's
take
all.
out very little money every single month. Aaron's living on 2.5k a month, right?
Yeah. And it's actually a lot lesser than 2.5k because
And
I'm
he's
also
paying for his wedding.
weddings. Some months I'm only paying 500, some months I'm paying like 1,000. So yeah, but I don't have $2,500 to spend every month.
Yeah.
It's lesser than that. If it was 2,500, I'll be living comfortably and living like a king. Or at least to myself, I'll feel like that. But yeah, some months have been quite hard, like because sometimes the money doesn't come in, and then I only have like $1,000 for the entire month. It's not easy, and then you got like friends' birthdays, trips and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It just eats through because you like I only can tap on that amount of money, but somehow I've been able to pull through. So yeah, I'm quite happy about that.
Okay. Number 3. What's one simple lesson about saving or budgeting you learned this year? It's a good segue from what we just talked about, which is your win that was that you managed to survive on very little money. So we actually saved a lot. He actually saved a lot and invested a lot of the money.
Yeah, I think me and Sarah have very different. Sarah loves to really budget her money. I don't budget it at all. I do track my expense though. I think that's the difference. Like I don't budget, but I track my expense. I track.
But it's a
every
new
single
thing you
dollar.
will like at the end of the year.
And I really needed it because I've been going on with it for almost half a year already. The reason why I'm doing it is because I need to know how much money I'm spending just to keep me in line with how much money I have left for the month. So I don't like to budget. I would say it's too difficult for me to follow a budget, but if I track my expenses, then I'm able to see, okay, I've already spent $800. I only have $200 left.
Aaron doesn't have to budget because I budget for him. I'm like, this is the amount you're getting, that's it. He's just like, oh, okay, everything else will go into savings. I guess I don't have a choice.
I do have wish lists, I do have things that I want to spend on, but normally I ask myself, can I push this to next month? And if I can, I'll normally delay the purchase. So that really helps me save money until I realize that, hey, month after month after month, I've been saving additional $200-$300. Then I realized, now that I have like $600 extra, I can buy like $300 bag or like go for a meal.
That used to be the way I budgeted when I was younger, before I got my first credit card. After I got my first credit card, it's very difficult because the money doesn't empty from your bank account immediately. You get very confused.
This is where tracking the expense
Yeah,
actually helps.
So it has to be tracked.
I track every single dollar that I spend, so I know that, okay, I only have this amount left, or I can only spend an additional $200 before I'm out. And I decide, okay, this month maybe buying the $80 bag or the $80 shirt just ain't worth it.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm using bags and shirts because I don't shop for bags or shirts very often.
You just bought a bag though.
Oh, that's true. But that's because I got the money.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
Christmas present to himself. A gram 28 bag.
Yes. Can't wait to just put it here in the next podcast for no apparent reason.
Did you discover any new apps, books, or methods that helped you stay on track financially? I guess it'll be
Notion.
tracking, right?
I track all my
Discovery.
I tracked all my expenses
Oh.
on Notion, and how did I discover that is, so I found a way to use the Shortcuts app to key in all of my, I don't know if you guys can really see this on my phone. I'm not sure if you can see,
Just insert
but like, oh, wait,
screen recording.
press the action button and there's the expense here. I just tap the expense and it just asks me what do I need, or name of it, how much is the expense, when was the date, and then my categories that I have selected for myself. And all of this just gets fed into Notion directly. I haven't found another app that does it better, that is free. There are other like tracking apps, but a lot of them requires you to open the app. The reason why I track it so fast is like just pay, right? Right before I even pay, sometimes they're keying in the terminal. I'll just action button, click Akimitsu, food, $20, done.
Aaron's a lot better at tracking than I am, even though I've done it for a much longer time. Aaron's a lot better at tracking. Usually I don't track it when I'm paying. I track it at the end of the week or the end of the month, which is bad. But usually I try to track it at the end of the week. So I pull up my bank apps and then I start going through one by one.
I
which,
hate that.
which takes time, but I realize that if I don't do that, I tend to miss out on, oh, it's raining.
No, it's snowing.
Uh,
I don't know. It looks like it's still snowing.
oh, really?
Yeah, it looks like so like yeah, it's like
Okay, so the reason why we are looking is because even though we're at a ski resort, it rains a lot.
yep, it rains a lot.
Today is a good day and a lucky day because it snowed. It was unexpected, which is why you guys are sitting here watching us now. I don't think I have any new apps or methods. I've been doing the same thing over and over again. But next year I want to
You
create.
do it on Notion as well, right? You have a Notion template out.
No, so I want to create a new one because they have all the
right.
new functions now.
Yes, all the automations and stuff.
And everything. So
You should see if you can get webhooks in as well.
I saved a video that I'm going to watch on the plane about webhooks on Notion. I wish there was a live two-way sync from Google Sheets and Notion.
There was a way to do it
Because
through APIs.
to be very honest,
and Zapier.
calculations of some, especially our business expenses, I was thinking about it, I feel like next year I'm going to start doing it on Google Sheets and not Notion anymore. Because when I do my accounting at the end of the year, I need to transfer everything from Notion onto Google Sheets.
But what about Notion's new formula update?
Oh, but accountants use Google Sheets, that's the problem. I need to submit it to our accountant.
You just export as a CSV.
No, here's a specific way. Collaboration is like that, right? Notion still has a lot of benefits to it. So I might use both. Last year, I told myself that I would figure out how to make my accounting more efficient. So I was going to write down my expenses and track everything throughout the year. I did not. At the end of the financial year, I was crying literal tears because of the amount of work I had to do for our accounting.
Don't worry, you'll be crying again.
I know, because the year's already ended and I have not done anything. I'm pretty sure this will be an answer to one of the regrets on which of your investments performed best this year and why do you think that was?
My investments, well, TBH, S&P 500. I have most of my money into the S&P 500 right now.
Thought Palantir did the best for you, no?
But I sold calls. It got called away. My shares got called away.
Aaron, the snowflakes are very big soon. It's gonna start raining soon. You might see the transition on camera.
I'm not sure if you guys can actually see the snow falling, but one thing that we notice is whenever it gets really warm and it's gonna rain, the snowflakes get, or like the snow falling gets really, really chunky.
So it's very beautiful. We love looking at it, but we also know that this usually signals
It's gonna
impending
rain soon.
rain.
Yeah.
Unless the temperature drops. I mean, there's sometimes that it goes up. So hopefully the snowflakes become small again, but it's big now so that you guys can see it on camera. It's very pretty.
Yeah.
So your best investment was S&P 500?
Yep, S&P 500. I think the
Look,
my entries, I think we place it in our Telegram group and we also create videos of it. It basically follows the McClellan oscillator this year. So it's a code. I coded it out myself. It's on TradingView and I think I shared it out for free so you guys can take a look at it. That's where I got my entries from. And it's been doing pretty well. I mean, it's not as much as what Sarah made. She will reveal in a moment, but I'm pretty happy with it because I can't risk too much of a capital as I'm trying to buy a house and get married soon. Sarah, what was your best investment this year?
So, because I'm not saving up for a house, unlike Aaron this year, I decided to start trading crypto for fun. The reason why I decided to do it with crypto is because I feel like if I'm going to be trading, there's a 90% chance of me losing all my money. But I'd rather risk it on the stock market where at most I will 2x my money, but there's still 90% chance that I'll lose all my money because I'm an idiot. If I put all my money into crypto, there is a chance that I might 100x it. And there's still a 90% chance that I'll lose all my money. So to me, the risk to reward makes a lot of sense to me. I look at that amount of money. It's not even that big amount of money, at least compared to the amount of money we've been investing. Sorry, this question asks about investment, by the way, but this is not investment. This is my trading money. Yeah. So for investments, I only invest in the S&P 500 and other ETFs, mostly. Trading though, so my best investment keeps changing. To be honest, I haven't sold anything yet.
So
All
how-
still unrealized gains.
Can you just tell them how many percentage points you're up on average? That's what everyone wants to know. If you invested in crypto, it's definitely like up at least some bit. So how big is it?
Oh, at first when you said percentage points, I thought you were trying to make fun of my inability to calculate the percentage. I am up 2 or 3, 2x or 3x.
So 2x and 3x, how many percentage points? So Sarah has
100 to 200%.
this. So Sarah has this thing where she keeps getting mixed up. Like a 100% gain is 2x. And for some reason, she just cannot compute that in her brain.
Yeah, it's just so weird. No,
You
it
100x
is just
something,
so
how
weird
many
that-
percent have you gone
It's
up?
just so weird that 100% is 2x. But then when it becomes 200% and then 3x and stuff like that. It confuses me. I said I'm up to 2 to 3x.
Yeah.
And I traded in crypto. Okay,
So what's the strategy behind it?
my strategy was to invest in trade, to buy coins like a hedge fund, and only in one niche. I never really traded crypto before, aside from following what Aaron did last year. I never really traded crypto or cared about crypto because there wasn't really a niche that interests me. This year, there's the AI niche, and I'm very interested in AI. Even in TradFi, just like everyday life with social media, I enjoy learning about AI. So this year, when I realized that crypto AI coins were a thing, I started doing some research and I eventually bought into 10 coins. The strategy is to do it like a hedge fund. I put in 10% of my total capital into 10 different coins, and I only need one coin to 100x, and everything else can die and I'll still be profitable. The thing is that with crypto coins, it's very dangerous, and sometimes when an influencer talks about it, it could cause people to buy into it. And it's not that I'm buying into coins that I'm extremely passionate about and have very strong convictions in, so I don't want to accidentally influence you guys to buy a wrong coin. So
Yeah.
I'm keeping shut about my coins.
But she is investing in AI coins. So if you just look up, you can
Yeah.
research about the AI coins and you can probably guess the 10 coins that she's in.
Yeah, I'm investing in the narrative and I'm in the technology, if that makes sense. We think that crypto industry is still filled with a lot of speculators and not true investors. That could be a coin that or a project that is extremely advanced in that technology, but their marketing is not good enough, their coins are not going to fly. And a complete trading narrative, I do not care whether the technology is good or not. It can be the shittiest technology in the world, but if it's a good marketing team, good narrative, people are hyping it up, I'm buying into it. To be honest, from my very, very brief research into each of the coins and many other coins, their technology is still very far behind what we have right now.
Yeah.
Because I invested into some chatbot coins, it's becoming too much of a crypto video, we'll make another crypto video. I guess I could tell you guys the types of coins that I'm buying in general, but just not the specific coins, so I'm not shilling a specific coin. Next question. What was the main way your income grew this year compared to last year? The main way our income grew is we started giving speaking engagements, emceeing, and our agency. That's majorly the way we grew this year. Because last year we were dependent solely on sponsorships. Yeah, we realized that we needed to diversify. Which category took up the largest portion of your budget, and were you surprised by it? Mine was travel. I was not surprised.
For me, it was wedding. Like
Oh.
every single month, $1,000 into the wedding. Really expensive.
That hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
You're paying 1,000.
Because it's about 20K each, right? Like 40,000.
Don't get
40,000.
married, guys. Don't,
That's what she said. She doesn't want to get married. Sarah doesn't want to
don't
get
have
married.
a wedding. I want to get married.
Sarah doesn't
I
wanna
want to
get
get
married.
married. It's my ring.
You heard what she said. She said don't get married.
Woe to you.
She said don't get married.
Error! 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 I don't know why I traffic towards the camera.
So like, gonna disrupt my editing.
Nobody's supposed to go out. This is wedding, mine's travel. I don't think either of us were surprised by our...
Yeah. Sarah, how many times you traveled this year?
I went to Korea, I went to Japan, London, Tomorrowland, and then London after. And then I went to Tokyo twice, Dubai, and I had the very long trip where I flew to New York, Vancouver, and then I came to Whistler.
Oh, 11? Oh, I traveled 7. So like,
Travel
I traveled to China to see the mountains in Yunnan. I went to Thailand to Krabi, then I went to Melbourne, then I went to Taiwan, then we had the Japan visa trip, the Dubai trip, and then in Canada.
Oh yeah.
So it's like 7 times as well. So I felt really good. I've never traveled 7 times in a year before. Usually I travel like twice. Last year I traveled 4 times, and that was kind of like maxing it out.
Whoa.
But this year it's 7. So it's a first for me too.
Yeah.
First time I traveled 7 times in a year.
Write that down in your achievements, you idiot. Aaron did his review. He went straight to like goal setting and contemplating for the next year without reviewing the previous year. Usually, people review and journal about the previous year first and then they look forward. Which is why we're reviewing it now. Forcing Aaron to review his year's accomplishments make you feel good. It gives you confidence about your abilities, getting to the hard questions now.
All right, Sarah,
What was your biggest financial mistake or regret this year, and what did you learn from it? So I think my biggest purchase regret was a $500 dress. I was in New York with my boyfriend and we made plans to go to a burlesque show. On the website, the dress code said the more you can dress up, the better. And I didn't have heels. I didn't bring any heels. I didn't bring any dresses with me on that trip because I didn't think we would be going out for like fancy dinner. So I was like, oh, let's go shopping. And there's this brand, it's called Reformation, that I've seen online a lot. And I've seen very beautiful dresses from them, but we don't have them in Singapore. So I was like, oh, let's go to the Reformation store. And we walked in, and I think we were just enamored by the entire shop. Tried a few dresses, and I was like, all the way here, I should just get the dress. The dress is extremely beautiful. And I don't particularly regret, I mean, it's a very classic black dress, so that's not the problem. I was like, oh, it's fine, it's $500, but if I wear it for most special occasions, like, I would get enough wear out of the dress because it's so classic. But when I got back, I realized that because it's 100% Mulberry silk, I have to dry clean it every single time I wear it. So every single time I wear it, it's an additional expense.
Also, for a dress, I feel like Sarah would be okay with that.
I've never paid more than $100 for a dress.
True, but like $500 for a dress, I feel like you'll be okay. Like, it's not going to be like super bad expense. Like you mentioned, you could have found many times to wear it.
Most of my dresses I wear for many times, and they usually cost less than $100.
Oh.
Or maybe at most $150, because the most expensive dress I've ever bought is probably from Zara. I don't really buy anything more expensive than Zara. I find that Zara has clothes that I like, are trendy enough, they fit me well. So I usually shop at Zara and Bershka. I don't shop anywhere else. The most expensive dress I've ever bought is probably like $100 or $150. Yeah. So $500 for anything that is not tech is ridiculous.
I love how you have to dry clean it and just keep making it more and more expensive.
Yeah, pick up. You always say that mothers know best. Every single time I used to go shopping with my mom, she would always look at the tag. She'd be like, oh, no, we can't buy this. Even though it will be something that I really like, it'll be really cute, it'll be really fluffy, or it'll be pretty or whatever. And my mom like, no, we don't buy this. It's too difficult to wash, And I'm just like, oh, so annoying.
Now you figured out why.
And I've never ever looked at the washing tag on my clothes. That was the first time I realized that it would be a big mistake not looking at it. So ever since that trip, ever since I made that purchase and realized that I would have to pay $20 to wear my $500 dress every single time, I have never not looked at the label. Mother's always right.
That's all part of growing up, right?
Yep.
Becoming a tad bit smarter.
Now I'm always like, oh, can I wash this? Is this a machine washable? Anyway, that was my biggest financial mistake. I do wish that the first big ticket fashion item I bought would be a good purchase, but there was actually a $300 dress that I almost bought, and that would have been machine washable, and it was cheaper, so I bought that.
Oh, you should have bought that.
Anyway, do you have any biggest financial mistake or regret this year?
Okay, so like my financial misstep kind of started in 2023, carried over to 2024. Like it was the biggest regret that I have, which was to buy a suit without like tailoring it. Like, because I had to go to my friend's wedding and I don't have a suit, right? So I had to go get a suit. I just went to a store, I bought it, and then I just went off. And it didn't fit me right, and I couldn't wear it in 1 year. I bulked up just a little bit, but the suit just wasn't good, right? I don't want to name the store, but I think the store just didn't do me justice. Like, definitely the wrong size for me.
Aaron has also a really weird body shape, just FYI. Very long legs, very short body, which would be perfect if you were a girl.
I have a very small waist and very big thighs. Proportionally.
And very long legs. So when he tucks in his shirt, he looks like he's wearing stilts.
I wasted a couple, like, I think it was like $800.
You know actually why that mistake happened? Because he's really bad with dates, and he completely forgot that his friend's wedding was happening and that he needed to make a suit. Which is why he ended up going to this random shop that does not actually customize suits for you.
I now have two suits. One of it fits perfectly, which I tailored.
You know what's my other financial regret? I bought air tickets to Niseko. It's like $800 because...
Alright, moving on.
Because my friends are going, but the reason I also was tempted to go was because Aaron was supposed to be there at the same time. For the last 3 weeks, he was like, Sarah, book the tickets. It's like, we have to ski together. It'll be so fun. I can hang out with you and your friends. But right after I booked my tickets, he realized that he was leaving Niseko on the day that I arrived at Niseko.
Right, see, so like there were some dates.
Better do some reflection.
Oh man, what is life? What is life? Life is tough.
So trip was supposed to be a 2-in-1. Aaron needs to refund me $400 for my... Did you experience any unexpected setbacks or crises that affected your finance? Yes, this is a story I just told you. It was an unexpected setback because I expected my brother to be there with me skiing in Iseko.
Kara's gonna be there on the 28th, so you can go find her, okay? A lot of friends now. Even more
I
friends.
think my brother? I'm going to cancel all of Aaron's hotels and flip them around.
Right, so actually one setback this year that really impacted me was in the middle of this year, it felt like
Come back. We had a problem. Our light went out of
lighting
battery.
issues.
Yep. So we look a little bit different now. Just ignore it and
Yep.
listen to our voices.
Setback this year, dealing with setbacks. There was a point of time where I felt like I couldn't make it.
Aaron always thinks we can't make it all the time.
So, middle of this year, I felt like there was a chance we couldn't make it. I wasn't going to make enough money to make this sustainable. And so I had to think of ways to make things work, right? Sometimes there are things that I don't want to do, but I know I got to do it because you just have to do it. So I thought, oh, maybe I do got to go back and do part-time physio or full-time physio or something, just so I can make ends meet. I just needed to make more money.
He's just being a little bit greedy because, like, oh, by the way, just so you know, the number he was thinking of is like, oh, private physios make about 10K per month in about 3 years from. So if I don't make 10K per month by this year, I'm going to quit.
There were points in this year where the amount of money we were bringing in was about like 3 to 4.
Friend likes to count by month, even though technically for our business,
Okay, no,
you
no,
need to count by year.
No.
Only can calculate average per month at the end of the year for businesses that
Yeah.
don't make consistent income.
But-
I speak and then it goes into his ear and comes out the other side.
Okay, so anyway, did you get all of your comments?
I will comment it back on the YouTube comments. This is what was taken out of the video.
So there was a point where I just felt like I couldn't like it. I don't know, it seemed ridiculous to you or like a different way of calculating it. At that time in August, July, September, it felt like I couldn't make it.
Aaron's always a little worried.
I mean, it wasn't so bad, right? I was like 4 point something, but it just felt like I needed to make a little bit more. Like I'm doing so much, I'm trying to pursue more things and do things in passion and try to grow into a business, and it wasn't working out.
And I kept telling Aaron, trust the process. You will only know the real number that we make at the end of the year.
Me, that felt like a very big setback. I think the way that I dealt with it was actually to trust the process and wait to the end of the year. I think what helped me a lot was being surrounded by other people who
Are also business.
are also businessmen, and I see how they are suffering.
or like the risks and uncertainty that they have to deal with,
Yeah, the risk and uncertainty.
and
as
still
well.
be positive and still trust in themselves and their abilities.
One thing about me is I have the tenacity to do things that I dislike and still keep grinding just to make ends meet. Like I can grind and I don't really have that ego. Like I don't care what I have to do to make money, I will just grind it out. If I have to like shovel dirt and shuffle shit, I'll do it.
Actually, yeah. Like I realized that. So the two of us are two different sides of the coin, right? So I think usually a good entrepreneur would have to be able to take uncertainty and also have the tenacity and the self-discipline to keep going and do the hard work.
Mm.
You have a lot more tenacity and the discipline to do the hard work. I'm really good at uncertainty. And we feed off each other. Aaron pushes me and I calm him down.
That's kind of how it works. I think at the end of the year, when everything just into place, and then we feel accomplished.
Yeah,
right?
and
But-
also a new contract next year also gives you a lot more certainty.
and I think that like you mentioned just now, having that two sides of the same coin is really what makes this work as well. To be able to do the hard work and not see any results sometimes is really, really scary.
Yeah, so that's how you handle your setbacks.
You know, I have different friends. I have friends who are very hardworking. Tenacity brought them really, really far. Brought them a very good job, but very tenacious, willing to do any kind of hard work. Similar to me, we have the same character where like we will shovel shit to make money, and that kind of mindset and character landed him a very good job. I also have different types of friends who doesn't have the level of tenacity, so he couldn't, I guess, get to that level as quickly. I still believe that they will be able to, but if people don't have that tenacity, I feel like the discipline and the tenacity is really, really hard for you to quickly progress into something else. You know, this whole hustle culture thing has gotten a lot of pushback recently, but if you want to get yourself from where
Point
you
A to
are
point B.
now, yeah, like point A to point B, I still believe that you need hustle culture. Maybe not for the long term, but like at least the short term.
like sprints.
Yeah, you have to do it. Like we basically did that as well, which is the only way we got to where we are today.
Yeah, actually all
Yeah.
the profits and all the good things that we reaped this year, to be very honest, from the hard work we did 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Because we weren't even working as hard this year as we were working back then.
Yeah.
If we are being very, very, very honest.
Okay, I'm just gonna wear my jacket up again.
You're
Maybe-
cold now.
Yeah.
I'm still in my fleece jumper and sweating. Okay, so next, opportunity cost. Were there any lucrative opportunities you passed on this year? Why did you pass and why did you think it was the right decision in hindsight?
Lucrative wise, I wouldn't say they're that lucrative, but there were many opportunities, especially when it involves sponsorships, that we passed because we felt like we just didn't align with it.
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of opportunities we passed on this year because we were just presented with, like I said, all the hard work from 2 years ago manifested this year. We were just presented with a lot of opportunities, 80% of which we turned down.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we couldn't handle them and we just really had to pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't regret them though. We didn't, yeah, I think they were the right decisions in hindsight. And I think there were some opportunities that we took up that I would say I regret more of the opportunities that we did take up. Sibley carefully knowing which one. More than opportunities that we passed on. Yeah, I think because I feel like the opportunities that we took up took away from our time to build our own platform the way that we wanted to last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, but hopefully we get to do it this year.
Let's do motivation and burnout.
Yeah, did you ever feel burned out in your journey to reach $1 million? What kept you going and how did you overcome that feeling?
I think that's a struggle that we are kind of in the middle of facing. I feel
But
like
we don't really know if it's burnout, right? It may not be
Right.
burnout.
it may not be burnout. So there was a point when I went into Sarah's room and we were talking about like different mindset
On the
shifts.
exact same day.
Yeah.
We had an existential crisis.
Yeah, and sibling telepathy because like we weren't talking to each other, but we had the same exact thoughts. I went into Sarah's room and started talking to her about it, and she was thinking of the exact same thing. And we were just wondering like, is this gonna this like
No, okay, so I was watching a podcast. It was Andrew Huberman and Psychology of Money guy. What's his name? The author of Psychology of Money. And they were talking about a very simple equation for a happy life is working towards something bigger than yourself, bigger than money, and having the freedom to pursue it without working towards someone else's goal. So they're talking about money as well, and they were saying that money does not bring you happiness, but it does help you with the freedom aspect of it. So if you had enough money, you would be able to have the freedom to pursue something bigger than yourself without having to work for someone else. Because
Right.
when you work for someone else, you're basically pursuing their goal and hitting their milestones for them. Right. So this is something that Aaron and I have. We have but the opposite is true for us, is what I felt. I felt like we had the freedom to pursue what we're doing right now, but I think we've hit a point where we are not pursuing something bigger than ourselves. Because what I realized is that for the past few years, we've been in survival mode. You know the
Right.
term survive and thrive? We were in survival mode. So all we could think about was how do we make more money? How do we make this work? How do we make this work? How do we make this work? And I think we hit a point somewhere in Q3 where we were like, our brains kind of switched off because we were like,
We're surviving.
we're surviving. We're
We're
surviving.
surviving so well.
Yeah, and we didn't realize that there was something else after surviving. It only came to me a few days ago that after surviving, we need to thrive. We need to build a business that thrives and not just survives. And It's
Yeah.
a whole different mindset. It's just like how they say that accumulating wealth is very different from maintaining wealth.
Right.
And right now, we are kind of moving into that maintenance phase. I'm pretty sure that with the way business goes, maybe in a few years, we might move back to survival mode.
Yeah. You never know.
We never know, but right now we are trying to move towards thriving and maintenance. And because, or at least I think because we didn't realize that there was this phase, we were just like, what do we do now? We're confused. There's no motivation anymore. We're not working
Yeah.
towards anything because we're not fighting for survival anymore. So we're
Yeah.
just like split.
So yeah, I think Sarah like sums it up really well, but I didn't know how to put that emotion and that thought into a way that Sarah said it, because the day that we like early in December met a friend and we were just talking, and we found that this year we also felt both a bit lazy, right? Like I told you, I got a friend who he basically didn't go to uni, grinded really hard, landed a job, and now he is making 5 figures. He's our age. And so like both of us felt that a couple years ago we were like really driven and we pushed each other on, but this year we felt a lot more chill, a lot more relaxed. Nothing wrong with that, but it felt different. An analogy that I was telling Sarah was, you're trying to get from like Singapore or like from a place, from like one country to another country. First thing we got to do is get to the airport. And so we took a car, we had lots of gasoline, a lot of like energy, right? We topped up our car and keep driving.
Yeah.
We reached the airport, but the fuel that we're running on doesn't work with like
A plane.
a plane. So like I got a lot of fuel, it only works with the car, and I just kept driving around the airport nonstop. It didn't work. I needed to find a way to get a different type of fuel. I needed to get like kerosene or something that can use to fly a plane. And so I didn't know I didn't know what that was, but I think Sarah put it pretty well. Like driving to the airport was the surviving mode, and now trying to get to the plane is like the thriving mode. And what we're trying to figure out is that fuel. Where do we get the fuel to power the plane, and what do we have to do to get the fuel? Yeah, so I feel like that's where we are at right now.
So it's not really burnout per se, just
Right.
lack of motivation, confusion.
Yeah,
We just-
it's like that transition period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Metamorphosis. After seeing your progress this year, do you need to adjust your original plan to reach $1 million? How so?
I think we're on our way there. I feel like our plan so far has been pretty good.
I think we didn't even have a plan.
Yeah, I mean, we're just
Yeah.
trying to make money, right? So like
Yeah.
that surviving into thriving. I feel like if we keep this up, we will
Yeah.
hit the million soon.
Yeah.
But maybe we could. No, I feel like beyond just the $1 million, it's also like building a business that can achieve the $1 million as well. That's
Yeah.
also our passion.
Yeah. And we will be talking more about this in our next podcast that we're filming in Singapore about 2025 plans.
Yeah.
What was the hardest thing you had to sacrifice financially or personally for your goals in 2024?
I sacrificed my left and my right eardrum to listen to Sarah every single day because man, she doesn't stop talking. It's so hard. It's so hard. You know, every single day you gotta listen to this.
Yep.
This yapper over here every single day.
Feel like, did we sacrifice a lot this year?
Okay, I wouldn't say this year, but I think one of the things that I sacrificed, truly that I feel like it's still a sacrifice, was actually going into physio and like private physio specifically because it was always my passion. It was
That's not
always
sacrifice,
something.
That's more of opportunity cost, right?
Right. So I had to sacrifice something
Yeah.
to pursue what's, and I felt like this year was the year that if I wanted to get to physio, I feel like
This was the you had to make the decision.
yeah, because
Yeah.
otherwise I won't get my license and all that. And I felt like this was the last year. I told people, a lot of people, like May I'll make my first decision and October-ish will make my final decision because that's the official graduation. So I feel like I had to sacrifice that to pursue this dream. Wish I could duplicate myself because a part of me really likes
Loves
private
physio.
physio. Like it was my dream job since I was a kid. So like I had to sacrifice that to pursue
And
this
now you're
other
doing
passion.
the #1 dream job in the world. Apparently.
Yeah. Okay. So like we didn't really look at the study ourselves, but I think it was more like a survey done in the US. Like, what's the #1 job? Like, dream job for like young people. I think it was YouTuber.
Content creator or YouTuber.
Yeah, like content creator or something like that. So like to be able to achieve that, I felt like I
Pretty
couldn't,
cool.
I couldn't pass it up. So, but I had to sacrifice something. Yeah, kind of
Yeah.
everything in the world. Yeah, I also want peace and quiet, but I also need you around. So like I gotta sacrifice my eardrums.
Yeah. I think it's Aaron. Aaron did sacrifice. I found that this year it didn't require a lot of sacrifice. Yeah. I feel like it's been a great life.
It's been a great life for sure.
Yeah.
Like this definitely gives
So
a
much
good life.
flexibility. The reason
Yep.
why we could travel so much this
Yep,
year
7
was
times a
because
year.
it gave us so much time and freedom, flexibility. We can work whenever we want, wherever
Yeah.
we want. No bosses to answer to, except for each other. But we're also very understanding with each other. If any of us are going through difficult times or are sick, we kind of just like, oh, we get it. It's fine.
Yeah.
But if you're at a real job, they'll be like, suck it. Sometimes I get worried that I'm getting soft, but
I think we are getting a little bit soft, which is why. So one of the like 2025 things, I'll just say one line here, which is to really put myself in uncomfortable situations.
I expressed this fear or worry to my boyfriend. He was like, don't worry, you're in business. You will have to suffer again one day.
It's coming.
It's coming. Wait. Okay, so I think those are the hard topics that we're going to cover today. Those are all the finance related questions. So if you guys were here for that, well,
Just 2 other questions that is not related to finance
Yeah,
that we're
so
interested to talk about.
if you
is
guys want to
product-
continue to stay on, and then we can just listen to this part as well.
So I think productivity hacks and like giving back. I think one way that we have tried to give back was, for me, it was trying to give a talk about personal finance, budgeting and investing. We did at Pongo.
Oh yeah, Aaron did it when I wasn't around.
Yeah, so like Sarah wasn't around and I had to give a short talk.
So from the start of this year, we started charging for speaking engagement like whenever we have to speak in public, for
Yeah.
public speaking engagements, out of the charge, but we do it pro bono sometimes.
Yeah, so like that was pro bono, no payment, but I thought it would be nice to be able to like give back as well. It feels good that like people also want to engage us, and so we want to do it for free. Next year we'll also be doing one online workshop with which poly?
It's not a poly. It is
poly?
it is a young adult, or like it is for young teenagers, young adults.
Hopefully one day we can give back in bigger ways.
Yeah.
So-
right now, we're only giving back to our parents. Financially, we're only giving back to our parents. For
Yeah.
now. We're going to bring them to Tokyo next year. Yay!
There. So like that's one thing. Productivity hacks, Sarah. So like what about productivity hacks that you would like to share that
New productivity methods or habits that helped us stay consistent with our financial goals.
yeah. And see not just financial goals but business goal as well, because I feel like for us being able to do all this productivity stuff really helped push us forward as well. So I think like one of my productivity hacks is actually getting a very solid to-do list. I'm using an app called TickTick. And the way that I use it is I have different level of priorities and I always clear it in a priority so I don't miss things out. And it moves up accordingly to the dates. If you're late, then someone else is going to be late and it delays like the entire process, and the final person who needs it will get really, really upset because he'll be delayed by like a factor of 3 maybe. With me using Notion for a lot of things using Notion as well to organize work and life has been probably still one of the most life-changing things that I started doing since uni. I think everybody should be using Notion.
Sponsor us, Notion.
Sponsor us, Notion!
So for me, I don't think there was, with regards to like productivity apps and stuff like that, I don't think I changed anything this year, but a productivity hack, maybe it's considered a productivity hack. I would say that I realized work for me this year is Alex Hormozy's like, okay, it's not his, but basically something about creative/creator time versus admin or business owner time. So Aaron and I do quite different jobs. Aaron and I have different tasks, right? So we split our jobs quite distinctly. And I handle a lot of the business part of it. So a lot of not just communicating with clients, but a lot of admin. So a lot of email, admin, a lot of boring stuff. And that takes up a lot of time. So what I've realized is that I've become very unmotivated this year to create new content. And it's very difficult for me to start writing scripts or filming videos, especially writing scripts. Once my brain has been tired drafting emails to clients, fighting for negotiating fees, explaining why our scripts were written a certain way, explaining why we can't edit this video this way because of the way that it will affect the viewers. When my brain is in that mode, it's very difficult for me to think creatively. So towards the end of the year, I realized that I needed to carve out one day that I would wake up early. Very different. I don't usually wake up early, but for this day, I would have to wake up extremely early, not check my phone, leave it on do not disturb mode for 5 or 6 hours. I will reply all my emails, do everything I have to do the night before, and ignore everything and just create and just write scripts. So I don't know if you guys have seen, but on our TikTok and Instagram, I've been posting a series called 30 Days of Money, which is a series that I've been wanting to do for a long time, but just never got around to it because I had to write 30 scripts, right? So I actually managed to write, I think like 10 scripts a day when I set aside the time to do it, or maybe more. 10, no, I think writing is 10.
I think it's 10, yeah.
Yeah.
3 tranches, yeah.
Yeah. So I had 3 tranches of like creative days, and that was pretty much the only reason why I could do it. And I realized moving to next year, I think I need to give myself a lot more creative days. Maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks, I need to find a day where I can ignore all clients. Sometimes it's difficult because clients message me at all times of the day, and if it's a period where we have a lot of sponsorships, they usually come all at once. So there will be 5 months that we don't have anything, and then suddenly everything will come in 1 month. And then Aaron will be extremely stressed out in the 5 months that there are no sponsorships. And then after that, when there's all the jobs come in, Aaron will be extremely stressed out about the jobs that are coming because there are too many.
That's life. That's life.
Yeah, I think that is my productivity hack that I learned worked for me. Because without it, I don't think I can create content. Because back then, it was just like all we had to do every day was create content. It was just fun.
Yeah.
We didn't have to do admin, we didn't have to talk to people, we just did whatever we wanted to, not get paid, but yeah.
Oh, that's life, right?
Yeah, okay, good. I think that kind of wrap things up.
Let's wrap this up with this last question, which I like.
Okay.
Okay, if you could travel back to January 2024, what's one piece of advice you'd give yourself about money or business? Or like if you could go back to Aaron sitting here last year, what after everything that's happened this year, what advice would you give yourself? I would give Aaron the advice: trust the process. Yeah, I think that will be. I think you agree, right? I think you agree.
I think I would also tell myself, trust the process. What about yourself? What would you give yourself?
Oh, I just want to say one extra thing is that I feel like I've seen Aaron grow. So I think the Aaron that started this a few years ago was very, very scared and always very anxious. And I feel like I've seen him realize that life can't always be planned out and that there will always be uncertainty. And he's actively trying to not freak himself out too much. And I think it's also not only because Aaron says that it's a lot to do with like people that he sees outside, but I also think it's because you have experienced it yourself now a few times, right?
Yeah.
Like when you trusted the process and it worked out, trusted the process and it worked out. And I think as life continues, you will keep learning that.
And I think the distinction is that I know that I'm still doing the right things. I think then I can trust the process, right? Because I know that I'm
And
doing
trust yourself.
the right things. Yeah. If I'm just lying in bed and not doing anything, there's no process to trust, right? But I'm doing the hard work and I see someone else doing the hard work as well and things work out, like life moves on. I think that really a lot. Yeah. Just being able to see that helped. And then being able to experience it.
You
as
know
well.
what? The word for this year, okay, but it's not a word. You have to trust the process.
Oh yeah, that's a good way to close off today's topic. We finally found like the word or
the
phrase,
theme,
which is called trust the process. I think the 2024 is trust the process.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a very
trust the
good.
process.
That's good. Sweet. I guess that's a very good way to end off.
Yeah.
Let us know if you guys have any questions for us. I hope that you guys can also learn something from us. We're not that special. We're two very normal people. She's a bit abnormal, so cut us some slack.
Yep.
As I was saying. Yeah, so like you guys can learn something from us as well as we share our journey. Of course, if you guys are already ahead of us, then you can just
Give us advice.
Give us advice.
Or give us money.
Look at how we are and I guess remember how it was like for you. But if you haven't got to our level yet, then we hope that as we share these things with you, you will be able to learn something from us.
And journey along with us as well.
Yeah, and we are two different people with two different personalities. So if you resonate with either one of us, then I hope that you can take away something. Likely there's two of us.
Yeah,
One a
very
bit more
different.
normal, one a little bit more abnormal. So just figure
One
out where
fun,
you...
one boring.
So I guess you can figure out where you are, and if you're absolutely different from both of us, you know, I guess what wouldn't work for you, right? Because if it worked for us and you're absolutely different, then it wouldn't work for you.
Yeah.
So
And we
Have
will also be doing, I think I said multiple times, but if you want to see what we are planning for 2025, we'll also be brainstorming it with you guys. So just give us a follow, hit the notification bell so you get notified when we post it, and leave a comment and like video.
cheers, guys.
Bye!
Bye.